Good morning. What's going on, Buster? Hey, buddy. Hey. Hey. Good morning. Good morning, old boy. You okay? You have a good sleep? Hmm? Oh, good morning. Good morning, Buster. Good morning. Hey, Lacey. Oh. Hello. Good morning. Can we hear the gecko? Nice and loud. What's the deal? Now he's sulking. Hey, Nina. Hey, Danny. Oh, Kaselamat pagi. Good morning from Indonesia. Stephen. Hello, buddy. Yeah, 8 hours time difference between us. Let's get this shit angled. Oh. Good morning. Antos, good morning, mate. How are you? Oh, we're just waking up with coffee, and then we can start the conversation. Oh. Sometimes just sitting still and appreciating the noises that happened in the silence like this is everything. The world is just full of life all around us. We have our own little unique individual problems in this world, but yeah, everything else keeps turning. Just a huge fucking ecosystem happening without our say so. It doesn't need our permission, it doesn't ask our permission, it just keeps happening. Beautiful. Bloody beautiful. So we've got Scotland. 8. Where are we all from? Where are we all from? Let's start basic. If you've been in here before, you know that I try and make these as interactive as possible. I will Wales, hey Gareth. I will make these as interactive as I possibly can. Unless your insults are extremely funny, they will be ignored. Any questions we have about training, any questions we have about diet, calisthenics, garter swinging, steel mace, kettlebell, life, dating, whatever it is, fire them away. Salamat pagi. Oof, got a bit of a suntan yesterday, kids. Huh? Look at that. The fucking eyes aren't even open yet. We don't need open eyes to appreciate these sounds. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Like, some people move abroad to live, how do we say it, to like make their money go further, but that's not why I did it. I wanted to make my money not need as much, you know? Stop fucking stressing over material things all the friggin' time. Since when does Thor have tattoos? You know, let's not compare me to one of the greatest Marvel superheroes. I don't understand. You know, when I meet somebody and they're like, so what's your favourite movie? And I'm like, I mean, Marvel. Like, you've got to love Marvel. I feel like if you have a penis and you don't like Marvel, there's something, because I don't get it. How do we not love a good fucking superhero movie? Like, the hero's journey is always one that prevails. I actually read a series of books. I read 17 books in a month in October. And there's a series of books called Cradle. There's 12 books in this series. And it's quite literally that. Each book's like 500 pages long. And I've not finished a book in 5-6 years. I've not finished a full book. And the second I got hooked on this series, I was like, well, that's why you've not finished a book. I learned more from a fantasy book than I ever have from any self-help book, because you're following the journey. And it made me realize something fundamental, which was, you always see on a transformation picture or a transformation story, you always see the beginning of the journey and the end of the journey. You never really see the middle. But the middle is where most people are at, you know? You can't be in your 30s, for example, and say, I'm at the start of my journey. It's like, well, you're not, because there's 30 years that have led up to this moment. So this is the middle of the journey, you know? And so I find anything that has the middle of the journey included, I will get straight involved. Jolly Jumper, drop the tough guy act. If you believe that me talking about Marvel is a tough guy act, that's gonna say more about you than it does me. Well, man, 2 years sober, well done. So I got my sober pics on life, it's got massive beyond the frame. And Ryan, that's incredible fucking news, man. That's incredible news, well done. Well done. Best thing I ever did was stop drinking. I stopped drinking 2.5 years ago. So yeah, there's just some substances in this life that you do not need. He said, you follow the gold prizes. Islam, you're gonna have to make more sense, mate. That's a bit broad, isn't it? Let's make it make sense. I can hear all the dogs barking. If I can hear them barking, you can hear them barking as well. I forgot, don't listen to the negativity, keep at it. You're doing. That's a solid input there. Solid input. Well, you can't have drawings over your face and expect not to bait some insecure people just by existing. You can't do it. It doesn't work like that, I'm afraid. It's nice to observe. It's nice to observe how humanity operates sometimes, especially at a distance. Like streaming services, social media, Instagram, YouTube. All these things I find really fascinating because I actually really want to help. It would be lovely to line up everybody with a keyboard and go into, what brought you to a position in life where your idea of fun is sitting in your mum's basement, picking cake dust out of the crook of a layer of fat that you've dropped all over yourself, typing on a computer to a stranger you've never met before over something that's clearly triggered someone. It blows my mind. Blows my mind. I find the psychology behind it incredibly fascinating. So, you're welcome here. Listen, you can fire whatever question you've got. Whatever question you've got, fire it away. What we're on, 16 minutes. We're probably only going to do 30 to 45 minutes this morning. I'll take you down to the yoga hut in a minute. In fact, we'll start moving down there now. What am I drinking? I'm drinking Balinese coffee, which you have to be careful because if you did you grow up privileged? Absolutely categorically not. No, I grew up on a council estate in Manchester. How do you handle moving away from the people you love, knowing there may not be much time left? Interesting. So this one was actually quite easy because I moved away when my mum died. It took my mum dying for me to actually decide there is a whole world out there and you're just sat in England. Literally just sat in England, depressed, hating on the system, hating the taxes, hating the wages, hating the cost of life. Fucking move. Go somewhere different. Summoning the supernatural. Hey, good morning. Looks like a right caffeine hit. Alan Watts, my favourite philosopher, the man who changed my life. Hello, sir. Yeah, it is a good caffeine hit. Why do you need to be careful with Balinese coffee? Because if you put like a huge teaspoon into the coffee doesn't actually blend, it sits at the bottom. So if you get to the bottom of the cup and you tip it back, all the coffee just goes in your mouth, and that's not a fucking good look. You look like you've been chewing dirt. Right, is this a Mancunian accent? My accent's quite blended, mate. I've lived in 36 different places. Did it cost a lot to move away? Not really, no. Not really. Hello from Australia. Hello, mate. Life is too short to be hating anything for too long. Yeah, agreed. Just go. Young is also worth a listen. Yeah, no, I agree, but I always stick to Alan Watts. But they've got a lot of AI Alan Watts now. You know, I used to like when I was going to sleep, if my mind was overactive, I'd always put some Alan Watts on to fall asleep listening to. And I put some on the other day. I got about 2 minutes into one of the lectures and I was like, this is not Alan Watts. And it's just AI voiceovers of Alan Watts now, and it's just not good at all. Boat. Yeah, I've built a business, but the taxes are crazy, and I feel like I'm working my life away just to be a business owner. I love the freedom, but sometimes question my own motives. Precisely, mate. Precisely. This is the fucking problem. If your business is not hands-on, or if you can get your business to a point where you can employ somebody to do the job that you're doing, and you can take an aspect or a segment of that business and move it online, that is what I suggest you do to anybody. Get a fucking skill. We've got about 4 years. Now, you can tell me I'm wearing a tinfoil hat, you can tell me whatever, mate, but I am telling you now, by 2030, if you are not financially independent, you are going to be financially reliable for the rest of your life, and we're going to be trapped in a system. They're all trying to do it right now with the digital ID. People are trying to warn you left and right, and it's just whether you listen or not. I'm not here to force any information down your throat. I'm just here to tell you to do your own research. Hello from Kentucky. Mags of the 606. Good morning, my love. Nina, are you in Australia? No, we are in Indonesia. Absolutely, man. You know him. Yeah, I know the voice straight off the bat. Hello from France. Bonjour. America is done. America's terrifying right now. I used to, when I was growing up, I used to always say, I wish I was born in America. I wish I was born in America. It looks so much more free, so much more opportunity. Because to me, you've got like 52 places the size of England. Bigger. Most of your states are bigger than my country. So it's like, well, surely I can just, if I don't like that place, I can just go to that place and I can just jot around, Are you ever going to move back to England? Absolutely fucking not, mate. You'd have to drag me back. And even then, I'd be swimming away. Look, is this my forever place? I don't think so. I feel like this island is very much full of Peter Pans. And yeah, it's enjoyable when you first arrive. Alright guys, I'm going to switch you onto a tripod and we're going to go down into the garden, but enough about me, thanks bro, I respect your outlook on life. No, you're welcome, man, you're welcome. I just want to serve the truth as best as I can, but I also want that to be known that that's my truth and that's my research and my education, so yeah, just this is what I do with a lot of my clients, mate. With a lot of my clients, I take people who quite literally feel stuck in life, whether it's spiritually, physically, mentally, financially, whatever it is. We will take whatever skill they've got and we will turn that into an online business, whether it's a community business, whether it's courses. Right? If you think about it like this, okay? So let's say you worked in, let's pick a niche, let's pick something which is, I'm going to spin you around a second. Actually, I can just take you out for a second before everyone starts getting fucking whiplash. Prop me down while I do this. Spinning. Oof. That's new. Okay, let's slot them in here. Hello, good morning. Right, stay on track. So if you, I don't know, let's say you work in a department store and you sell clothes and you're actually just a you're just a store hand in a department store. What are the main skills that come with that? Organization, sales experience, customer service. Okay, so there's three things there already. Right, what else can you apply those same skill sets to? I know, mate, yeah, the sound is incredible. What can you apply those same skill sets to? There's multiple opportunities in the world that you can apply them to, but people don't need to know that that's where those skill sets originated from. You can create an online course in customer service, how to have better customer service within your business. So now you're selling to business owners to train their staff on how to have a better level of customer service. You can either do one to one or you can do one to many. One to many tends to be a little bit more difficult to push, but the one to one stuff is brilliant. I only work with 5 people at any one time. So I work with, and that's because I guarantee my result. So that's the other thing as well. When you have an offer, your offer has to be important. If you want to work online, your offer has to be something that is going to be, it's going to be something that's going to make this person understand that you're serious. So, for example, let's grab this stuff. We're going to go down into the yoga, huh? I'm just going to, I'll read that in a second, just one sec. Yeah, so for example, my offer when I start working with anybody new is quite literally, I guarantee my result, whatever my result is that we agree on when we first start the process, I will guarantee that result. And if we don't hit that desired result in those 12 weeks, then I will continue to work with the person for free until we hit that result. And I can safely say, to date, I've never had to work with anyone for free because I'm only working with 5 people at any one time. So I'm not cutting myself too short. So I actually have the energy, the resources, the ability to do my research, the ability to lock into 5 individual people and make sure I'm providing a service which is actually getting the job done. So that's that one. Right. We're from Manchester. Let's go back up here. Good morning. Partner, you can't go through life alone. That sounds lonely as hell. I'm not alone at all. I've got amazing people around me, incredible people. I think this delusion on you need a family by the look, I've tried the whole not yet. Not yet. A random request? No. Hello again. I don't want to be disrespectful, but if you don't mind the question, what kind of cross do you have tattooed on your hairline or forehead? So that is a dragon's gem and a dragon's cross from Norse mythology. Yeah. Yeah. Look, I know what it can get confused with. Trust me, I treaded very carefully before I got it done. I own a construction company, but with all the migrants, it's impossible to keep up with their prices, absolutely crushing the industry. Okay, could you turn it from a construction company into a construction consulting business? So helping first-time business owners create a construction company. And then all you do is start that on the side, and then you can build up a reputation once you've got 2 or 3, 4 people underneath you where you've helped them start their own. Then you have a reputation for being able to help people start their own businesses, and now you have the consulting side of things. I'm 23 and spent 16 years in the school system, but have no real knowledge at all. Oh, isn't that fucking right? Isn't that right for everybody? The school system's fucked. I learned more as a kid by spending my weekends and my evenings building shelters in forests and being out in nature than I ever learned in that fucking, don't get me wrong, we all need to know how to read and write. Like them fundamentals are just non-negotiable. And We need some basic understanding of the world, but God, my life. Literally just feeding you into a system. Mark from Newcastle. Hello, mate. Lucas, we're not, it's just a random request. We're not going to do that, are we? Can you blink your left eye? Are you okay, kid? Like, are you okay? Um, Jesus is the way. Look, if Jesus is your way, no problem. Didn't notice the almost. Yeah, exactly. Almost. No, it's not. I believe at one point in life, you have to make a choice about when it's the right time to partner up or play the solo game. I think being single for too long can lead to despair and playing the game. Shit, that's sore. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but there's a big difference between doing the solo game and actually being solo, or doing the solo game whilst fucking around all the time, you know? I think they're two very, very different things, and it can put you in different, unique situations. For me personally, like right now, I need to be alone. Like, I need to just be by myself. I need to work on what I'm working on. I need to build my business. I need to build myself back to a position where I am happy. And then I can start thinking about somebody else. Because I feel like a lot of relationships fail because you get two people who have done zero work on themselves getting together and then expecting just to be able to figure it out along the way. And look, that works for some people, fair enough. But if you're highly intellectual, if you have a high level of emotional intelligence, if you have a high level of understanding of yourself, the world around you, you've got experience with people, you understand the way people operate and move through the world, and then you get together, it's a recipe for disaster, isn't it? What happened at Married at First? What happened after Married at First Sight? Bro, the whole story on Instagram. Dusty Grey Fox, hope your day is a fantastic one. Looks peaceful where you are. It absolutely is, my friend. Absolutely is. We literally just got coffee, dogs, and fucking birds all over the place. This is the view this morning. I like this. This tells me I don't know whether I'm going to get a nice, lovely day or whether we're about to hit a fucking thunderstorm. Not too sure. Not too sure what to do with it. Let's come back up here. Unstoppable. Had any brain issues after addiction? Did you have any brain issues after addiction, sir? Hello from Belfast. Hello, my friend. Learn to play guitar. I can already play guitar. I can play the handpan, the drums, and I also beatbox. I used to actually beatbox for a living out in Greece. Some people need to work on themselves. Carl Jung is the man for inner self-work and reflection. I think all of our places that we look, all of our... Let's have a think about it. How can I word this best? I think we have too many people to follow nowadays, okay? And I think what we should be doing is we should be spending more time understanding a theory and then applying that theory to our own existence. So like you said, you know, Carl Jung might be the person for the inner work, but what a lot of people will do is they'll go away, they'll read some Carl Jung, and then they'll spend the rest of their lives reciting what they read, but never integrating it into their own lives and their own existences. So now they're just a walking encyclopedia of a load of information that they never actually used. I find the exact same thing with podcasting. People are like, oh, did you listen to this podcast episode? And I'm like, no, I didn't. Because if you listen to 90 minutes every single day of information and you get to the end of the week, let's say you do that 5 days a week, that's 450 minutes of information that you've consumed. There's absolutely no fucking way that you've integrated 450 minutes whilst maintaining a full-time job, a family life, going to the gym, exercising, taking care of your fucking body, eating the right... I'm sorry, but you've just not done that. You've not done that. So How about listen to the same podcast episode every day for 7 days before you switch on to the next one? Take all the key points of information out of there that you think are going to be useful and applicable to your life, and then start integrating them and applying them. I think it's exactly the same thing as plant medicine. You know, you get guys who used to be addicts and now all of a sudden they're doing plant medicine fucking retreats every weekend, and I'm like, are we just switching one for the other there, guys? You know, are we just looking for a guilt-free way to do what you were doing already? Because it kind of seems like it. Where are you? Thailand? No, we're in Indonesia, sir. Just bought my grail guitar. Been fighting addiction. 3 years clean. Amazing, mate. Well done. Treated myself to a Les Paul. Lovely, beautiful. Touchdown. Bro, you were from Germany yesterday. True people that follow like sheep are a worry. But you said, what's the weight of the mace that you swing? I've got every different weight, bro. The one over there is 60 kilos. I range from 6 kilos for a flow mace. I'd say 15 kilos for continuous cardio, and then I'd say 25 kilos for my rep range, and then for my strength range 30, 40, 50 kilos up. But killeth the spirit. You've got it already. Exactly, you have got it already. That's it, you've literally got it already. I also play the handpan, amazing instrument. Dusty Grey Fox, question for you, mate. So with me, I don't actually know how to play the handpan. I just make it sound cool. I'll upload the video to my shorts directly after we get off this live. But because I used to play drums, I just kind of integrate the music, you know? So I'm just literally integrating whatever I'm feeling. It's a very intuitive play. And it sounds great. I love the fucking sound. And the rhythm is good. And I get very, I don't know, it gets you quite fucking emotional as well. Like, it actually gets you incredibly emotional. Place looks beautiful where you are. Ben, it really is, my friend. You know what I mean? Thank you. Portugal, hello. What's happening, Dave? Glad to see a good person who has some emotional and intellectual depth. And you don't seem to have the typical narcissistic traits many people on these streams has. You have a genuinity about yourself. Absence of the void. Authenticity will lead the way, and authenticity will light the dark. That is my belief system. At the end of the day, I don't want to be your guru. I don't want to be your fucking leader. I don't want to be any of those things. I am literally just a guy experiencing this thing that we call life the same way as you are, and documenting the journey. And if anything, you know, apart from my one-to-one clients and my group coaching calls, I would say most of the time I'm just putting stuff out there. If I swing a Garda and do 28 days of no sugar and get a certain result, and another person on this planet goes, fuck, I want that result, I can go, well, here's how I did it, see if it works for you. If I say, you know, I read this the other day and it completely changed my perspective on, I don't fucking know, you know, life, let's just go with life. It completely changed my perspective on life. Maybe it could do the same for you. I just find that way you're not forcing information down people's throats. Everything that comes out of my mouth is nothing but my own lived experience and my own opinion. Later trends, you play it in an organic matter. Yeah, just literally I just feel it and I just go for it. The less you think about it, the better it is. Kind of makes you be free floating. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's literally what I thought. 1 second. Sorry guys, I've just got, okay, we're off. 17 months, reconciled with my wife and 2 sons. All my energy goes into my faith and family. I'm blessed and grateful. That's incredible work, Ben. Well done. So to me, it comes down to finding a purpose, and for most people, their purpose, if they have a family, is provide, therefore work the 9 to 5. So through repetition is indoctrinated. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. Another thing that I hate about the system is that the system's very comfortable. The system is very, very comfortable, which is what keeps you in the system. But life isn't meant to be comfortable. There's meant to be struggle. And this is exactly how people get trapped in it. You know, their life is comfortable enough so, you know, you don't need to move straight away, but it's not so uncomfortable that you need to move straight away. It just keeps you in that middle fucking ground. But like I say, in the next few years, there's going to be some huge, huge changes happening. That's why we're out here now. And look, like I said, I'm not saying I've got it nailed. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just doing what I think is right. It's actually relatively harder to go off the trail. There's a lot of families out here, mate. There's a lot of families out here. And this is why, again, you know, so one of my clients, Scott, last week, we're looking at getting him over to Thailand in the next 3 months. So I've spoke to all the immigration people that I've got. I've spoke to everybody I've spoke to everybody within the business who can make that happen. Are they scared? Yeah. 2 kids, wife, you know, are they scared? Absolutely, yeah, of course they are. It's a brand new thing, which is going to change everything, even from climate to food to education to all of it. But I think it's the best decision they'll ever make. It might take 6 months to adjust. It might take longer, but it's going to be better than staying where they are. We're here at Thailand. Must be in the east. I'm not in Thailand, mate. I'm in Indonesia. How much to live there for 1 year? Completely depends. You can spend as much or as little as you want. You can find somewhere to rent for 5 million rupiah, which is 250 quid, and you can live off bakso and mee goreng and nasi goreng and probably spend about £2 a day on having 3 meals. You can live a more healthy life. You can spend 10 mil. So me personally, it cost me 9 million to rent my place, which is £450. That's my electricity, that's my water, that's all my gas, that's cleaning twice a week, bed change twice a week. My dog lives here with me as well. My Wi-Fi, all of that's just included for that 450 quid. I don't have to pay anything extra. I literally have all of this here. Now, if you want to move into, make it more luxury for yourself, and you want to move into something like this, and you want to move into a 2 or 3 bedroom villa, which is going to be more appropriate for families, you're probably looking between 20 and 30 million IDR. So 20 million roughly converts to about £1,000, £950. So, oh no, it's about 900 now. So yeah, you'd be looking at £900 a month to live in one of those, but then your utilities aren't that expensive, but you would have to pay them on top. Yeah, I can't see your way of life. You probably spend similar to what you'd be spending in the UK, but your way of life would increase tenfold. These other instruments, the pan can be tapped and it can be made to sound brilliant. And yes, very emotional. Absolutely. Since I'm glad to see you. Hope you're doing well. I guess you are. Good days and bad days, absence of the void. Good days and bad days, even still. I'm in Germany because my father is a submarine general in the Russian Navy. Okay. Islam, I love all these stories. I'm not going to lie. It's okay. A lot of people are having this awakening, turning spiritual, keep going, it'll lead you down a magical path. Bro, I've been spiritual. I've been spiritual my entire life. I just didn't know where that journey was going to lead me. Like, I've never lent towards religion. I've always led towards connection. And I think it's just developing your own journey. Spirituality to some people looks like charging crystals at full moon. Mine's black coffee and a cigarette, mate. You know, like, just be by yourself. Spend some time understanding your own way of thinking, your own thoughts, your connection to everything. Figure out a way to connect. You got Camo on, bro. Good chat, Craig. What's going on, guy? As he says, easily. It's 9 to 5. Yeah, literally. Doesn't allow. You descend the west, puts a lot of fear into people through these emotions, and it's hard for people to go down this route. 100%, 100%. Gravity core fitness, hey bro. Every story has a conflict, life makes pain, pain produces character, character produces endurance, endurance produces victory. Ben, couldn't agree more so. Very nicely put. Rules of the physical life. He's not in his own land, bringing other people to that land. One's not in his own land, bringing other people to a land that's not theirs. Bro, you probably live on a land that was not yours, that was taken. Logan, great chat. You remind me of that geezer from that TV series. Citizens, got my name. No idea, mate. No idea. When I learned Ice Age species currently living in an Ice Age, caring about the climate. Sorry, just joined. Where are you? Still have the best of Western life. You still get a lot of that over here as well, mate. I just try and avoid it. One of the biggest illusions to life is that we have control over it. Absolutely. We are scared of change, even when we change every second. We're afraid of not finding the answer when sometimes there isn't one. Yeah, I completely agree with that statement as well. The UK is in this cycle. I do, but I also think there's something deeper to it right now. I'm not even going to comment on it because there's something playing out right now. Lived to be 115. What was the secret? Chewing her tobacco and dancing on the porch. Yeah, literally. Do what makes you happy. My nana's in her 90s and she literally smokes fucking however much a day. You have some gyno, bro. Yeah, do I? Do I really? No, literally zero. But great conversation. Happy Black History Month. Fucking random. That's in Hinduism, Buddhism, spirituality, more for seekers. Peacefully, oh my God, sounds where you are, it's amazing. Yeah, we could do. Go home, join your defense force. Bro, I ain't fighting wars I didn't start. Absolutely not, mate. Absolutely not. I was in the military. I joined the army at 15 years and 9 months. Okay, I joined the British Army. I joined the Royal Engineers, 300-18707, Sapamori. I shut up, bud. Shut the fuck up. Get off your fucking keyboard. And unless you've actually fucking engaged in any kind of combat or done anything with your existence outside sat on that fucking keyboard, shut up. Be great. Funny motherfuckers. Funny. Funny. You should go and do this. Were you in the military? Or you just sat there fucking typing away? Huh? In fact, let's get your fucking IP. These are funny. Okay, wonderful. Oof. It still can't make its mind up whether we're going to have a sunny day or a fucking thunderstorm. And something's been in the rice field. Just can't fucking figure out what. Tropical. What type of wildlife is out there? You know, when I was first coming out, I was worried about, fucking ginormous spiders and snakes. And I've had like one huntsman spider in my room. That's it. In 2 years. Seen a couple of snakes, but they don't really get much bigger than like this. And the big ones you don't really see. A lot of lizards, a lot of monitor lizards, which are like big fucking dragon things, but they don't come anywhere near you, like at all, ever. You're absolutely fine. Is it affordable? It depends what you earn. Do you ever pray? Done all kinds of shit random questions. Do you ever pray to Jesus, Matt? I do not know. Every day is tough on a leash. People in their weak comments. Yeah. Honestly, Ben, Honestly, mate. There's some things I can accept, but when you start talking about serving a country and something that I have done with my life, and you're sat there having never done that with their life, that will get a reaction. There's not a lot that can get a reaction, but that will get a reaction. Zero understanding. People in the military have to live with PTSD to this day in the UK, don't help with people that help this country. Yeah, look, guys, we're not talking about the army. We can, any more comments about that, we're not going into it. That's not why we're here. Have you ever gotten in a bar fight? I used to work security and I used to work close protection security, so I've split up a lot of bar fights. Very nice, just write all of this shit. I don't know how my business is good. Boat. I think either in the description of this, but my literally my online business card is in there. Just send me a message, mate. Literally no obligation. Let's just have the conversation. Are they mostly venomous snakes? Nope. At the best point of playing the game. Neo, where are you, mate? All respect to you, bro. Don't focus on the hate. All criticism comes from a place of unmet needs. It comes from a place of ignorance, mate. Literally. Right, I said I was only going to do 45. We've now just hit 50. I have to go to work. I have to go meet a client. I have to get shit done. So, oh shit. Let me just move this because my legs are going fucking numb now. And also my sarong is falling down. I don't want that on fucking YouTube live. Right. Let go, guys. 3 times my size to save big dudes. Hey, mate, some of the most dangerous people I know are tiny. Guys, listen. Have an amazing day. Whatever you decide to do today, whether you're just going to sleep, whether you're going to start your day, whether it's the middle of the night, whatever you're doing, man, just literally, just fucking relax. Make some decisions, stick to the fucking decisions, and just relax into it. You have no control over it anyway. Boom. Have a great day.